It feels like I've been starting each new day with me in the car. I'm going to Joann's today and I'm going to pick out fabric, and I'm also going to be looking at some patterns. Once I get to Joann's, I will show you what I'm looking at and also try to film without being self-conscious. All right, here we are at Joann's. Let's go in. Oh. This store is so disappointing. As a fashion designer, there's like not very many options, and there's like all the fabric is like 80% of the fabric is like stretch fabric, and then the stuff that's not, it's just kind of sad. This color looks really strange, but that was a pretty big disappointment. Didn't really find anything. I'm just so frustrated with Joann's because they don't have a big selection, and when they do, it's mostly stretch fabric. And if it's not stretch fabric, then it's like some kind of lace, and so then, and that lace is like 20 bucks a yard, and then you gotta buy something that goes underneath it, which is like 12 bucks a yard. It's just, things get really expensive in Joann's. So they only have a $400 budget for like 6 costumes plus headpieces, so I'm just like, whatever Joann's, I'll just use the fabric that they have. About to go do a fitting and I'm a little bit of a mess right now, but that's kind of the look I'm going for right now. Like, really, I am. So anyways, let's go. Okay, I think I have found a fabric for Ti Moune, and I'm mostly just wondering if it's cheating if I use the same color, because they do have this like blue fabric that has like a nice little detail, little embroidery detail in it, but it's like a pale blue, and I don't really want her in a color that is very similar to the gods, so like I don't want her in green or blue. Definitely not white, because that doesn't make sense. I found this baby. And there seems to be a fair amount of yardage that I think I could make 2 dresses of, because there's not going to be 3 costume changes. So I think there's a fair amount that I could make 2 out of. I'm just wondering if it's cheating. I mean, I don't think it is. Like, I think yellow would look really good. Nah, we're gonna do red. Red is a really great color. Okay, now I need one for the inside. Thankfully, this isn't see-through, so this would be good. And I think it's a little stiff, but you know, you can't get everything when you don't live in New York, so we're gonna make it work. It's not that stiff, I guess. Okay, so now I just need a color on the inside, and that goes good with red. It'd be cheesy if I did pink. Sometimes people say red and pink don't go together, but I think they look really well together. So that's me personally. I'm gonna look at a color wheel. Okay, I just looked at a color wheel. I think I'm gonna go for a color still in the red family, but more of like a magenta color, so I'm gonna see what I can find. I seem to be picking a lot of fabrics that are at the bottom of the stack. So there's this oh wait. This is the purple that I'm looking at. There's one down here. I'm pretty sure doesn't really look like the same one, does it? Okay, purple is the other option I'm thinking about instead of red, which I think would look really great. Okay, thinking maybe the purple with that nice blue that had the little eyelet detail. Okay, it's not really eyelet. The embroidery detail on the inside. I think that would look pretty nice. Maybe I should go green. It's very dark in here. Okay, just checking to see if my pants ripped. Okay, it's very dark in here, but I'm thinking, I don't know what color this is. It's like a green. It's like a green. Oh, okay. What about these two together? They're essentially the same fabric, I think, or very similar. So like this on the outside, this on the inside. I think I want to go with this. Oh, but that's such a nice red. It's just such a boring fabric. Oh, that's a beautiful color. I'll bring it down anyway. Oh wait, I think that's green. Found a really cool fabric, but it's like very buried in here. And there's like, it's right here, this little tiny row, but there's like maybe a yard. Maybe a yard. I just want to pull it out because I think it's a really cool fabric. Okay. I'm very sad to report that I was indeed mistaken about the coolness of this fabric. See, this is what I first saw in the dark. This is what I pulled out in the light. Okay, one more look. Alright, time to bring this is where the light is. Okay, we're both looking at it for the first time in the light. It's pretty dark. Okay, let's grab our red. Gosh, this is such a beautiful red. Okay, one more. This would be much easier if I put down the camera. Okay. It's still a little difficult to see what this looks like. I'm gonna have to trust my judgment. Oh, but that red is so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna bring all three of them down. I wish this lighting was better. Okay, so I'm having one of those moments where I should be proud of myself, but I'm kind of just disgusted with myself. I wasn't able to get any video of the thing on the cover on the sectional. They liked it, and yeah, they really liked it. I don't care for it, honestly. Okay, I like it and I don't like it. It's like one of those things when people compliment you, but then you like see there's things that you know you can improve on, so that's all you focus on. And so there were just like those parts. Okay, I tried to stitch down those parts that just would not fit under my machine. Hand sewing wasn't an option because the thread was showing on the other side. And I'm like, I'm not about that. So what did I do? I did what any poor person would do. I pulled out a hot glue gun and I tried to glue them down, and naturally it didn't really work. So they were just sticking up. And I'm just thinking to myself, every time they compliment me, do you see that, Kim? Do you see how that is sticking up and how it shouldn't be? And then also it was a little bit too big. Like, it could have been like maybe like an inch smaller on like the width from like the center to the back, to the curve, to the part. So the length as far as like from top to bottom, like on the sides, was fine. That looked totally fine. But yeah, biggest issues were like the big parts that just, my machine was just like, I don't know who you think you are, Kim, but I'm not doing this and you can't get me to do this. And glue gun, she was just like, why are you even pulling me out? I'm ranting. And it's just really hard for me to take a compliment. I'm fine with it. I'm just not happy. I don't even know how I feel about it. I'm just really indifferent about it. I'm just exploding on the inside right now. I just can't take compliments. They just make me so uncomfortable. And anyways, they were just like, Kim, it looks so good. I'm like, are you sure? I wasn't even saying, are you sure? I was just like, okay. Okay. If you say so. I'm just gonna edit all of that out because that was just way too much. In short term, there were some things that I'm proud of and some things that I need to work on. It was a little bit too long, and the pieces that were just too thick for my machine. I need to figure out something to do about that, because this isn't the only time I've run into this issue where it's just like my presser foot just doesn't even want to go up that high because it's just, she's thick, you know? So I just need to find a solution for that. I don't know if I need to like hammer it down like I'm making a purse or something. The garage light went off. Okay. So I'm sure there's a way, like, I don't know what machine. I mean, I have an industrial sewing machine, so I don't... I have an industrial sewing machine, so I don't know what, like, what else I can do. I think that's the end of this. I didn't put the button on, but I honestly don't even know if the button's gonna work out because that part right there is just so thick. So I may just go without the button. Anyway, so if there are any parts in here that are a little bit confusing, I apologize. Essentially, all you need to know is that I'm a costume designer making stuff for show. So this is for show. I should film this outro somewhere else, right? I'm not going to. I'm sorry. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Like if you want to. Or not. Tell me not to be so hard on myself. I mean, you know, some people can just be so proud of like minimal work, and that's just not me. And I don't want to be one of those people, and I don't want anybody to be one of those people. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take my credit whenever I get it, but only if I know I deserve it. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. But anyways, creative life over, out. I'm combusting on the inside, so I'll see you next week. Bye. Hello. Okay, that's awful. Hi, today is December 8th. Today is December 18th, and it is a Tuesday. So I have finished one thing of the many things that I am making. So I'm going to head up there today, and I'm going to be working on Ti Moune's dress. I found a pattern that's very similar to the dress that was like on Broadway. Well, first I have to make sure all the pieces are in here because I didn't do that before. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of manipulation and then also make it into a very large dress, like a ballroom dress. So anyways, I'm just heading up there now, and it's kind of hot outside. It's like, this is irrelevant, but, well, okay. It's 60 degrees, but it feels really warm right now. So, here we go. Okay, back up here again. I feel like every time I come up here it looks very different, but I am now in search of a lining fabric for Ti Moune's dress. So probably something in the general vicinity of the color, which is a dark purple. If I could get black, that would be great. But I could probably actually buy a lining because lining fabric isn't too expensive. So I'm just gonna search up here real quick. I think I see something that is possibly usable. Once again, it's buried. Okay. It's gonna be a little difficult. Can't really hold my flashlight and film. Which one is more valuable? She's not much of a lining material, but I think I'm going to try to continue to pull this out and then I'll bring it downstairs. So yeah, it's definitely more of a sheer than it is a lining, but I think it'll help out when it comes to like adding volume, because I can just like make it bigger. Alright, here we go. So yeah, you can see it's definitely see-through, but that's okay. Okay, so my pattern pieces are a little wrinkled, so I'm just gonna take them on the iron and straighten them out. But yeah, typically when you have a commercial pattern, if you've never sewed with one before, you get like a little layout on where to put your pieces so you can cut most efficiently. And so I think I cut out at least, I hope I cut out enough. I think I cut out at least like 4 yards of fabric. So I'm gonna just like maneuver these around to make it fit what I need, because I mean, I guess I probably should have brought the whole thing home, but I didn't do that. So I hope this is enough. I see some of these pieces say like cut 4. I'm not worried, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I just finished cutting out all of the fashion fabric pieces, and now I just have to cut out 2 pieces of this lining material, and then I will be done. It's taken me almost 3 hours, so it'll probably be right at 3 hours when I cut these 2 pieces out. It's only 7 o'clock right now, but it feels like it's like 9 p.m. and that's probably because I woke up at 2 this morning. And I've basically been up since then. So it feels really late. It's also dark outside because it's winter. So I'm just gonna finish cutting this out, and then I'll look over the pattern pieces to figure out exactly what I should do first. Okay, so I think I figured out exactly how I'm gonna sew the first part of it. So I'm gonna start with the top, and here are all of the pieces. So I'm gonna sew, it'll make a little bit more sense if I show you. So here is the bodice front, and then here is the bodice back. So each, like both the front and the back have this like it's the 5/8 seam for the casing for the elastic. So what I'm gonna do is first sew both of the upper ruffles together, and then I'm going to attach to the upper ruffle back, and then this will be one unit together, And then I'm going to stitch the bodice front and the bodice back. So then I'll have one piece here, and once these both are done, they'll get attached to each other. But before I attach all of that together, I have to make these straps. So basically, I'm just gonna stitch them down and then take my little tube and invert them. So then I'll have straps. So I'm gonna stitch the wrong sides of the ruffle and the bodice together. And then once it's stitched, I'll fold it down and this will be attached. And then I will stitch it down right side together. First things first, I'm going to make these straps and then I will stitch the ruffle together. So there are only 2 pattern pieces that don't have any cutting instructions, which is a little weird because it doesn't say cut 1, doesn't say cut 2, it doesn't say anything. So I'm trying to figure out, well, it appears that I believe I should cut 2 based on these images from the one sheet of instructions I have. And so, I mean, I already did that, but it's just these instructions and also these images are a little bit confusing because I also don't have this sheet that I have doesn't have any instructions on the bands themselves about construction. That's on the first sheet that I don't have, and so I'm gonna go off of the knowledge that I have of doing waistbands, and I think I can figure it out. I think I have an understanding, but we'll see if this works out. I've had to do a lot of unstitching and restitching to accommodate for my lack of instructions. So hopefully I don't have to do too much more. It's currently been 10 hours of construction time on this, and that doesn't include the times of me unstitching things and restitching them back. So it's probably more than that, and I'm not like tired of the dress, but I'm just ready to be done. So I'm gonna try to figure this out. Okay, so I'm going to gather the bodice and then baste it to the waistband, and this is gonna face the front. This will be on the outside. And then I think at the same time I'm also going to baste it to this other waistband, which will be attached right side to wrong side on the inside of the garment. So this is the shoulder and this will be the waistband. And then the lining will get attached to here and the skirt will be attached to the other one. Okay, so I'm done and I think I've warmed up to this dress. Yesterday I was basically done, but I didn't finish the zipper, and so now everything is done. I've hemmed my edges. It sticks out a little right here, but I think that can be fixed with just like either a little bit of pressing or maybe even some like tacking, so it'll like stay down, because I don't want it to be like this the whole time. So yeah, I like it a little bit more than I did yesterday. I was having this fear that everything I make I am just gonna hate, because such is the nature of my personality. So I think now that I have it on, thankfully the actress and I are similar body types, so I can see exactly what this looks like. I guess it's kind of cute. I did make some alterations because I was missing, I think, 2 of the 3 sheets. So because the pattern itself was only a size 14, there weren't any multiple sizes. I did a little bit of alterations in the bust area because both the actress and myself were not as wide as the pattern itself. So I decided to put in some darts, and because that changed the length of this, I did a little bit of a gathering on the back. And all of it, even itself, gathers into the waistband. So I did that, and I think I did the elastic part wrong, because there was this piece that said elastic guide, and I have no idea what that was for, so I didn't use it. So I don't know. Let's see what else I did. There are supposed to be bands that tie around, but I decided not to do that. And I also decided not to give it a lining. Well, the lining was only for the skirt, so I thought it was unnecessary, especially because the stuff I got wasn't even lining material. I still did some stitching in the ditch down here. So now the inside of the dress is okay. I did use my serger and serge most of the pieces, so there shouldn't be any unraveling. And yeah, I will show you the rest of this dress, and this is just one costume done, and I have like 3 weeks. I have a lot more to do, so I'm a little stressed, but I'm okay. I wish I had a better mirror to show you what it really looks like. This is it at a first glance. It has some nice movement. But yeah, it's kind of hard to see. I'm just really hoping that it doesn't look too dark on stage. I'm also hoping it's not too nice. Like, does it look too nice? I feel like it looks fine. Anyways, this isn't a really good outro, but I hope you enjoyed this first look into one of the several costumes that I'm making, and stay tuned for next week. I should have another video. I have a lot more costumes to do, so there should be a lot more videos. Anyways, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.